Hey guys, so I got inspired for this chat today by listening to the radio. I was actually on my way here, and the radio host said something that was like just insane to me. She started talking about whenever her family gets the stomach bug, they automatically start drinking grape juice. And she said that anytime that they get sick, that's what she gives her kids. She just tells them to start chugging grape juice. And I'm just thinking here, I'm like, why would you want them to chug sugar water? Why not just eat the grape? And then within this next breath, she literally says like, this has been debunked by scientists, but I still do it, and I swear by it. And I'm just thinking like, this is the problem that is going on. It's just like people say things because they read it, they heard it from some influencer or whatever, and they just take it and run with it and don't really think about like the whole story. So this radio host is probably talking to thousands of people in this moment. And these thousands of people could be believing that the next time that they get the stomach bug, that they need to go buy a bunch of Welch's grape juice. And I'm just thinking, will it ever end? The answer is no. Because the way we live in the Western diet is just sugar laden. And so anyways, that inspired the talk. It's not that sugar is bad, because all plants have sugar. All plants are carbs. And so it's not that sugar is inherently bad. It's just the dosage in which we eat it that is bad. I mean, it's the number, like drinking sugary beverages is one of the number one reasons why people gain weight, is because it's empty calories. And when I say empty calories, I mean, like, look at it this way. It's not going to fill you up, those drinks, and it's not going to offer you any more nutrients. Like the fruit, the actual fruit would actually add more nutrients, more vitamins, more good things, fiber, slows down digestion, helps your body use that energy properly, better than having a apple juice or grape juice, when you have to think of how many apples did it take to fill up that glass, and would you eat that in the same setting? So say it took 10 apples to make a little 8-ounce glass of juice. Would you eat 10 apples in one sitting? No, you would not, because you're not a cow and you don't have two stomachs. What I mean too by empty calories is that when it comes to juices or sodas that are sugar sweetened, you're not going to get full whenever you drink these things. So essentially, you are drinking the equivalent calories of a meal on top of probably a meal that you're eating at lunch. So if you're having a regular, 500 something calorie meal at lunch, but then you get a sweet tea with it, that's, 300, 400 calories. Well, you just turn that moderate meal into a bomb of a meal. And so when people are not aware that this is a culprit, like this is a number one habit that we focus on in Clean Kitchen, is to get people to drink water and less calorie beverages. It's not just because water is good for you. It is going to, if you drink less sodas, less sugar, it's going to allow you to eat less calories. You're not going to be in a surplus of calories. So then you can actually get a handle on your actually food that's going to nourish your body. Eating nutrient dense foods is key. And drinking less of sugar beverages that are not going to have the nutrients is key as well. It's a big reason why I had a hard rule growing up, like with Bishop growing up. I didn't have many hard rules. Like, he still could eat junk food. I would rather him eat his sugar like eat a treat, eat some cake, eat a donut, than drink a soda, drink a Coke. Like, because why? Like a donut is at least going to have some fat with it and might help slow down some digestion. Yeah, it's going to be a sugar dump, but there's a little bit more to a donut than just sugar. But with like sodas and juices, that's just straight sugar, and it's a straight dump on their system that your body can't handle that much at one time. And so growing up, when Bishop growing up, whether it was when he started preschool, going to birthday parties or whatever, I just had this hard rule about him eating or not drinking sugary drinks, because I didn't want him to develop a palate for those type of drinks. I wanted him to develop a palate for water. And I also wanted him to develop a palate for whole foods. So I wouldn't let him just go hog wild when it came to treats and stuff. Especially didn't do it when he was a baby. Like, I see people trying to feed babies, infants, cookies and whatever. I'm like, why? Kids are a blank canvas. Like, they don't come out of the womb wanting cookies. They don't. I mean, you could at least give them the best shot to develop a palate early on, so those years when they start preschool, when they start kindergarten, and they start getting exposed to other people's like treats and whatever, like, you're not going to be able to control everything that they eat, but you can at least help them develop a palate even early, that you may not think that it's paying off whenever they do start kindergarten. They start eating all the things that their friends are, eating. But I promise you, if you stay consistent with your message, and you mirroring the message of drinking water, eating more whole foods, offering it to them, over the years, it's going to pay off. Bishop is now 12 years old, and, yeah, he still likes to drink. He wants to drink like Sprite sometimes, and sometimes I will let him have it. But for a majority of the time, he just drinks water, and he also eats a lot of whole foods. And I had to go through years of people like giving me the side eye of like, why aren't you letting him drink that Capri Sun? And I'm like, because he wants to eat cake, and I'd rather him eat cake than drink both. It wasn't every single time, but I would have appreciated other people not questioning that, because it showed me that eating healthy and healthy choices is not the norm. And that, my friends, is really sad. I'm trying to make it the norm. I'm trying to, get this message out that, it's not normal to drink sugary beverages every time you eat. No, it's not normal to eat sweets and all this stuff every single day. But I would have really appreciated it if people would have, instead of, I guess, maybe not intentionally shamed me protecting what Bishop ate, but more along the lines of, I wish they would have said, oh, well, that makes sense. Maybe I'll try that. But nature, like human nature, is we want to be validated in our choices. And so when somebody is going against the grain and not doing what we're doing, good or bad, you'll feel the kickback. And I think that's more so even today when people do try to do healthier choices, whether it's out to a meal socially with your friends, whether it's at a birthday party and you decide you're not going to eat cake, somebody's going to comment on it. So it's the same with kids. People are going to comment on, why you're choosing to do what you do with your kids. But I just say, stay strong, mom and dad, for, you're the protector of how they grow up and what they end up, how their palates end up developing. And I don't care who it's coming from. You just need to stay strong, because it will pay off. And now, 12 years later, I am seeing the payoff of all those years of the choices that, I made for Bishop as far as food and my hard rules on juice and stuff like that. So I'll leave it at that. Even though that chat kind of went around in a circle there, and it started with one point and ended on another. Main point takeaway is sugar itself is not inherently bad. It's just the dosage in which we eat it. It needs to be moderate. It needs to be a natural dosage that comes within your food. Not added sugars that come in your food every single time you eat. But then my other point was going to the kids is that kids are a blank canvas. You can control how their palate develops to an extent, but if you're feeling the heat, because you're on that fringe outside of the way that you think about what your kids should be eating, don't worry about it. You're giving them a leg up. You're giving them the best opportunity to develop good habits that other people probably didn't have when they were growing up. So I will leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed my chat/rant. I'll see y'all next week. Bye bye.